I'm gonna pull up in the fucking motherboard and plug that shit in. Welcome to Earth, motherfuckers. Yo, bro. Will Smith used to be based. What the fuck happened to this nigga? He fell off. Will Smith fell off. Independence Day. No, man. But realistically, chat, shit is getting scary and it changes every year. And for those of you who have kids, look, Kanai doesn't have kids. Royalty doesn't have kids. Rob, you have kids. On the Rise, I think you said you had kids too. When you have kids, it becomes scary, bro. I'm worrying every single day, like, fuck, dude. In my lifetime, I've seen shit change dramatically in my lifetime, bro. Literally. When I was a little tiny kid in like elementary school, I remember them teaching us the Dewey Decimal System. The fucking librarian was teaching us the Dewey Decimal System, chat. Think about that for a second. And I'm only in my 30s. Niggas were teaching us the Dewey Decimal System, bro. He says, Scott, you are days away from having a kid. He says, yeah, I'm in the clear for now. He says, facts, after my daughter was born, I damn near became a doomsday prepper. On the Rise, you got to think about it this way. When I was a kid, bro, we were literally watching cartoons. We had the Dewey Decimal System. The internet was barely, you had dial-up internet. Literally dial-up, chat. You guys remember dial-up? Dial-up, you used to go on dial-up. Your parents couldn't use the phone because the line was occupied. Come on, bro. We went from that to what we are now, where every person is on the internet. Do you remember when you were a kid, the guy who was on the internet was a weirdo? Back in the day, if you were a person who was terminally online, you were a weirdo. You were a shunned, an outcast. And now the entire society, the entire population is full of people that are terminally online. And you know what's crazy? Go back to before I was born. Go back to before I was born. Go on YouTube and type reports about the internet. Let's see if we can find one. Because the people from back in the day, they thought this shit was never, they were like reports about the internet. When you go back and watch these old videos.
Imagine, if you will, sitting down to your morning coffee, turning on your home computer to read the day's newspaper. Well, it's not as far-fetched as it may seem. In fact, both local San Francisco papers are investing a lot of money to try and get a service just like that started. Science editor Steve Newman reports on one person already using the brand new system.
17 stories up in his fashionable North Beach apartment.
This guy must have been rich as fuck to have access to the internet in those days.
Richard Halloran is calling a local number that will connect him with a computer in Columbus, Ohio. Meanwhile, across town, in this less than fashionable cubbyhole at the San Francisco Examiner, these editors are programming today's copy of the paper into that same Ohio computer. When the telephone connection between these two terminals is made, the newest form of electronic journalism lights up Mr. Halloran's television with just about everything the Examiner.
Damn, homie never made it to the gooning era, bro. You know this nigga never made it to the gooning era. He was already too old. He missed out. Damn, bro. Can you imagine, chat? This is what makes me fearful. Remember, amore morte. Remember death. We all have to die, bro. And the sad thing is when you die, you're leaving the party. You leave the party. You don't know what's going to happen next. This guy here, he never knew where we were going to go with this, bro. This guy was in his final steps of life. He didn't know where this was going to take us. Homie missed everything, bro. You missed everything, bro. Everything. This guy probably didn't even live. 1981, he was already this old. He probably didn't even get to the year 2000.
Prints in its regular edition. That is, with the exception of pictures, ads, and the comics. 8 newspapers around the country are currently in the computer network, and within the...
This nigga was looking at a terminal. He was looking at a terminal, bro. This nigga would have never imagined it. Shit, dude. That's crazy, bro.
Next few weeks, 3 others will join in.
This is an experiment. We're trying to figure out what it's going to mean to...
This guy might have made it. He might have made it. He might have made it to... This is 1981. He's probably about what? I remember people back in the olden days look older than they really are. He's probably like 20-something. This guy's probably like 27, 28. He just looks older because everybody looks old from the olden days. I don't know why people look so old from the older generations. He was probably, at the most, this guy's probably 30. So he probably made it to, he's probably still alive. He's probably old.
Us as
He's probably really old if he's alive. Probably like 80 years old.
editors and reporters and what it means to the home user. And we're not in it to make money. We're probably not going to lose a lot, but we aren't going to make much either.
Both the Examiner and Chronicle began service within the last 2 weeks and printed full-page ads about it. Of the estimated 2,000 to 3,000 home computer owners in the Bay Area, the Chronicle reports over 500 have responded by sending back coupons. Even though the electronic newspaper isn't as spiffy looking as the ads imply, people using the system are excited about its potential.
With this system,
Damn. He says, goal in life, porn, shake my head. Rob, I'm just keeping it honest with you guys, though, bro. Homie never got to see the golden era of humanity. This girl, too. Whoever made this video, 1994, are you ready for the internet? Tomorrow's world, retro tech, BBC archive.
Imagine a world where every word ever written, every picture ever painted, and every film ever shot
This is 1994. She's probably like 25.
viewed instantly in your home via an information superhighway, a high-capacity digital communications network.
Look at the fucking computers,
What
bro.
that would mean is
Slow
you
as fuck.
transform your home into a mammoth interactive entertainment centre with the odd stock exchange and shopping centre thrown in. It sounds pretty grand, but it all comes down to computers communicating. And in fact, that's already happening on something called the internet, that anyone in the world with a computer and a modem to connect it to a telephone line.
Not the floppy disks, bro. Not the floppy disks.